Conversation stop.
You're crazy with the credit's no good for a notion, salesman.
What? On the board? Why not? What's the matter with the credit?
It's old-fashioned. Charlie, you're not no salesman. Your firm give credit?
No, sir.
Nor anybody else.
River City. River City next.
For the merchandise. For the bucks and books.
For the common good. For the hard good.
For the soft goods. For the fancy goods.
For the dogs and the pigs and the birds.
Cash for the hogs and casket Debbie jump. Cash for the crackers and the pickles and the fly.
What do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk? Where do you get it? What do you talk? You can talk. You can talk. You can measure. You can talk. You can measure. You can talk. You can talk. Talk. Bigger. You can talk like one of us different than one.
No, it ain't, but you gotta know the territory. Right, Model T, be the trouble, be the people, wanna go, wanna get up and go. 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 14, 22, 23 miles to the county.
Yes, sir.
Who's gonna picture that's a little bitty 2x4 at the store anymore?
What do you talk? What do you talk? Where do you get it? Model T is all. You can get it at the store, at the modern store. It's a day store, but doesn't say Model T. What do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk? Where do you get it? What do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk?
Where do you get it? You can talk. You can talk. Talk. Bigger. You can talk like you want to, but it's different than what?
No, it ain't, the territory. Why is the you need a biscuit in a trunk? You need to put the crackers in a package. The you need a biscuit in an airtight sanitary package with a cracker barrel fully.
Obsolete. Everville went out the window with the mail house. Love John by the stove. Change the coat, shove a travel in, salesman made it pretty home.
No, it's, but you gotta know the territory. Gone.
Gone with the heart. That's it. Gone with the river. Let them know. Gone with the up and tail of the ship.
Ever meet a fellow by the name of Phil?
Hill.
Just a minute.
Never heard of any salesman, though.
Now he doesn't know the territory.
Doesn't know the territory.
What's the fellow's line?
Never worries about his line.
Never worries on his line.
Or doggone thing. He's just a dangy, bell ringing, big ball break, go, nothing, brick for. Every time he's a full-size salesman. That's Professor Harold Hill. Tell us what's his line.
He's a thing. He doesn't know the territory.
What do you talk?
He's a music man.
He's a what?
He's a music man, and he sells clarinets to the kids in the towns with the big trombones and the rat-a-tat drums, the big brass bass, and the piccolo, the uniform too, with the shiny gold braid on the goat and the big red stripe running.
Well, I don't know much about bands, but I do know you can't make a living till a big trombone. No, sir. Mandolin picks, perhaps, and here and there Jews are.
No, Phil sells bands, boys bands. I don't know how he does it, but he lives like a king and he dies and he gathers and he plucks and he shines, and when the man dances, sir, boys, what else? The piper plays him. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. When the man dances, certainly, boys, what else? The piper pays him. Yes, sir.
Honey doesn't know the territory.
River City. We're across the state and into Iowa. River City. Population 2,212. Cigarettes are illegal in this state. What?
All right, if you're all through, I'll tell you about Harold Hill.
You really know Harold Hill?
Never saw him in my life, but I'll tell you this much. He gives every one of us a black eye after working the next town over. The next salesman to arrive gets automatically tar and feathers and rid out to the city limits on a rail. You think that's funny? Wait till it happens to you. Your hair never grows back.
Why should he get run out of town on a rail?
Because in order to sell band instruments and uniforms and instrument books, he's the guarantee they teach them kids how to play.
Well,
And to form them kids into a band with himself as a leader?
And what's wrong with that?
Why, he don't know one from another. He can't tell a bass drum from a pipe organ, that's what's wrong with that. If I catch that swindling two-bit thimble rigger, I'll swindle him so loud!
wow, you're mad, Charlie. I should like to be around when you catch up with that fella.
Well, it won't be in this strip, not in Iowa. Even the great Professor Harold Hill wouldn't be caught selling the net-boat Hawkeyes out here.
But, gentlemen, you intrigue me. I think I ought to give Iowa a try.
Don't believe I caught your name.
I don't believe I dropped it. Mr. Squires. Yes, I'm interested in a rig for Sunday if you could accommodate me.
Well, then I expect you'd ought to ask the man who's in charge of hiring rigs, who is late. As usual. Hey! Gregory! Marcellus! Greg, what are you doing here? But Greg, you...
The name's Professor Hill now. Harold Hill.
But Greg, what are you doing here? Why didn't you let me know you was coming?
Well, I didn't know I was coming here by myself. Besides, how could I know you'd end up in a little tank town like this? You were a pretty big slicker when you were in business with me.
Too many close shaves the way you work. Besides, I've got me a nice, comfortable girl. Ethel Toppelmeyer, boss's niece.
Got legitimate, huh? I always knew you'd come to no good.
So, what's the new pitch? Oh, you're not back in the band business. I heard you was in steam automobiles.
Well, I was.
Well, what happened?
Somebody actually invented one.
No.
How can it blow down here, Mars?
Oh, you'll never get anywhere with these stubborn Iowans, Greg. Besides, we've got some stuck-up music teacher. She'll expose you before you get your grip on that.
Male or female?
Music teacher? She's a librarian. Female.
Perfect. That's what I wanted to hear. If she passes by, point her out to me.
I will. So, how are you going to start this pitch?
Well, same old way. Keep that music teacher off balance, and get your town out of the serious trouble it's in.
Well, River City isn't in any trouble.
Then I'll have to create something. I have to create a desperate need for a boys' band, you remember. So what's new around here, Mars? What can I use?
Nothing. Except the billiard hall just added a pool table.
Never had a pool table here before?
No. Only billiards.
That'll do. I'll see you later, Mars. And remember,
Music teacher.
Music teacher.
Ah, you're Mr. Dunlop.
Yeah.
Either you are closing your eyes to a situation you do not wish to acknowledge, or you are unaware of the caliber of disaster indicated by the presence of a pool table in your community. Well, you got trouble. Right here, I say trouble right here in River City. Why, sure, I'm a failure player. Certainly mighty proud to say I'm always mighty proud to say. I consider that the hours I spend with the cue in my hand are golden. Comes to cultivate horses and a cool head and a keen eye. Did you ever take a try to give an ironclad lead to yourself from a three-rail billiard shot? But just as I say it takes judgment, brains, and maturity to score in a fog-line game, I say that any boo can take and shove a ball in a pocket. And I call that slot. The first big step down the road to the depths of degradé. I say first it's medicinal wine from a teaspoon, then beer from a bottle. And the next thing you know, your son is playing for money in a pinchback suit. Listen to some big out-of-town Jasper here to tell about horse race gambling. Not a wholesome trot race, no, but a race where they sit down right on the horse. Like to see some stuck-up jockey boy sitting on Dan Patch. Make your blood boil, I should say. Now, friends, let me tell you what I mean. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pockets in a table. Pockets that mark the difference between a gentleman and a bum with a capital P, and that rhymes with P, and that stands for pool. And all week long, your River City youth will be frittering away. Say your young men will be frittering away there noontime, summertime, short time too. Get the ball in the pocket, never mind getting dandelions pulled to the screen door patch to the beefsteak pounded. Never mind pumping in the water till your parents are caught with a cistern empty on a Saturday night, and that's trouble. Yes, we got lots and lots of trouble. I'm thinking of the kids in the Knickerbocker shirt-tail young ones peeking in the pool hall window after school. You got trouble. Folks, right here in River City. Trouble with a capital T and that rhymes with P and that stands for pool. Now I know all you folks are the right kind of parents. I'm gonna be perfectly frank. Would you like to know what kind of conversation goes on while they're loafing around that hall? They'll be trying out beef, trying out Cubans, trying out tailor-mades like cigarette beans, and bragging all about how they're gonna cover up a telltale breath with sense in one fine night. They leave the pool hall, headed for the dance at the Army, Liberty, and its scarlet women, in a ragtime, shameless music that'll grab your son, your daughter with the arms of a jungle, animal instinct, mass hysteria. Frenzy, idle brain is a devil's playground trouble.
Oh, we got trouble.
Right here in River City.
Right here in River City.
The capital T and that rhymes with P and that stands for pool.
That stands for pool.
We've surely got trouble.
We've surely got trouble.
Right here in River City.
Right here.
Gotta figure out a way to keep the young ones moral after school.
Our children's gonna have trouble.
Mothers of River City. Heed that warning before it's too late. Watch for the telltale signs of corruption. The minute your son leaves the house, does he rebuckle his knickerbockers below the knees? Is there a nicotine stain on his index finger? A dime novel hidden in a corn crib? Is he stuck to memorize jokes from Captain Billy's whiz-bang? Are certain words creeping into his conversation? Words like swell. And so is your old man. Well, if so, my friends, you got trouble.
Oh, we got trouble.
Right here in River City.
Right here in River City.
With a capital T and that rhymes with P and that stands for pool.
That stands for pool.
We've surely got trouble.
We've surely got trouble.
Right here in River City.
Right here.
Remember the maid, Plymouth Rock, and a golden rule.
Our children's gonna have trouble.
Oh, we got trouble. We're in terrible, terrible trouble. That game with the 15 numbered balls is a devil's tool. Oh, yes, we got trouble, trouble, trouble.
Yes, we got trouble here. Big trouble.
With the T. Got a rival with P. And then stands for pool. Excuse me, did you drop your...
No.
Didn't I meet you in...
No.
I'll only be in town a short time.
Good.
Mama. I'll be there in a minute, Amaryllis. Keep on with your exercises. Hello, Mama.
Oh, darling.
Fine, dear. Now your exercises.
Yes, Mom.
I don't remember the library being open the last 4th of July.
It was, Mama. All evening. Mama, a man with a suitcase has been following me all over town.
Oh? Who?
I never saw him before.
Did he say anything?
He tried.
Did you say anything?
Mama, of course not. Now don't dawdle, Amaryllis. Shoulder, la, re, team me a little slower, and please keep the fingers curved as nice and high as you possibly can. Don't get faster, dear.
If you don't mind my saying so, it wouldn't have hurt you to find out what the gentleman wanted.
I know what the gentleman wanted.
What, dear?
You'll find it in Balzac.
Well, excuse me for living, but I've never read it.
Neither has anyone else in this town.
There you go again with that same old comment about the low mentality of River City people and taking it all too much too hard.
Now, Mama, as long as the Madison Public Library was entrusted to me for the purpose of improving River City's cultural level, I can't help my concern that the ladies of River City keep ignoring all my counsel and advice.
But darling, when a woman has a husband and you've got none, why should she take advice from you? Even if you can't do a full sack of Shakespeare and all them other highfalutin things.
Mama, if you don't mind my saying so, you have a bad habit of changing every subject.
No, I haven't changed the subject. I was talking about that stranger.
What stranger?
With the suitcase who may be your very last chance.
Mama, do you think that I'd allow a common masher? Now, really, Mama, I have my standards where men are concerned, and I have no intention.
I know all about your standards, and if you don't mind my saying so, there's not a man alive who could hope to measure up to that blended Paul Bunyan, St. Patrick, Noel Webster you concocted for yourself and your Irish imagination, your Irish stubbornness, and your library full of books.
Thank you. Can I have a drink, please?
May I?
May I have a drink, please?
Yes, dear.
Winthrop, it's after dark. Is that any way to walk into a house?
Hello.
That won't do. I'll have a kiss from my boy. That lady over there is your sister, young man.
Hello, Winthrop.
Winthrop, where are your manners?
I'm having a party on Saturday, and I'd like it if you'd come. I would especially like it very much if you'd come. Winthrop?
Well, Winthrop, Amaryllis invited you to her party. Are you going or aren't you?
No.
Know what?
No, thank you.
You know the little girl's name?
He won't say Amaryllis because of the S, because of his lisp. He's ashamed.
We know all about his lisp, Amaryllis. Well, Winthrop?
I'll bet he won't say it. No, thank you. Amaryllis. Amaryllis! Amaryllis! He's crying. Why does he get so mad at people just because he lisps?
It's not just because he lisps, Amaryllis. That's just part of it.
What's the other part?
Never mind, dear. It's just that he never talks very much.
Not even to you and your mother?
No, dear. We all have to be a little patient.
I'm patient. Even though he doesn't ever talk to me, I do him. Every night I say goodnight to him on the evening star. You have to do it the very second you see it too, or it doesn't count. Good night, my Winthrop. Good night. Sleep tight.
There, darling. Don't cry. You have lots of time. If not Winthrop, there'll be someone else.
Never. I'll end up an old maid like you. I'm sorry, Miss Marian. Can I play my crosshand, please?
May I?
Play my crosshand, please?
You may.
See, without a sweetheart, you've no one to say goodnight to on the evening star.
I know, Amaryllis. For the time being, just say goodnight, my someone. You can put the name in when the right someone comes along.
All right, it's better than nothing.
Yes, it is. Now you can play your crosshand piece.
Now I may play my crosshand piece.
I'm sure we're all grateful to my wife, you, Lily McCartney, Shane, for leading the singing, and to J.C. Squires for his fine stereopticon slides, and to Ethel Toppelmeyer, our fine piano player, piano. As Mayor of River City, I welcome my fellow River City Cians to the 4th of July exercises as held indoors here in Madison Gymnasium at Camp the Weather. For score and the school board will now present a patriotic tableau. What? The paper? Read the paper. The school board will not present a patriotic tableau. Some disagreement about costumes, I suppose. Instead, the Watangi girls of the local wigwam of Hiawatha will present a spectacle, my wife, in which my wife, Larry McKechnie Shin, will take a leading part.
Who set off that cracker?
I didn't get it. Tommy Geelis did it. Tommy Geelis. Yeah, it was Tommy Geelis.
I'm jealous. I wouldn't leave if I were you.
Mrs. Shin will recover, no thanks to a certain young ruffian who is a disgrace to our city. 7 years ago. The Payne's fireworks spectacle, last days of... What is this word?
Pompeii.
Will take place provided the rain ends by 9:30. It'll be out to Madison Picnic Park in the Farm Meadow, cross the creek past the pest house.
How can it be raining? Didn't the Gazette predict fair?
Sure did, you. That's why we all prepared for a storm.
The Gazette's accurate most of the time, and you know it, JC.
It wouldn't last long in the banking business, being accurate most of the time.
Okay, you know what I'm talking about. Just a minute.
It's late again tonight.
I make her early.
She's late, all right.
She's right time. What's the matter with your watch?
Early.
What's going on?
Stop bickering in public. Never mind. First call.
We heard there's a pool table in town.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Will you allow me to get on with the exercises?
We don't want any more exercises till we get this pool table matter settled.
Yeah.
Let's protect our children.
Yeah.
Resist sin and corruption. Smite that devil and keep our young boys pure. Friends, may I have your attention, please? Attention, please. I can deal with this trouble, friends, with the wave of my hand. This very hand. Please observe me if you will. I'm Professor Harold Hill, and I'm here to organize a River City Boys Band. Oh, think, my friends, how can any pool table ever hope to compete with a gold trombone? Ra-da-ra-da-da-ra-da. Remember, my friends, what a handful of trumpet players did to the famous fabled walls of Jericho. Oh, billiard parlor walls come a-tumbling down. Well, a band will do it, my friends. Oh, yes, I said a boys' band. Do you hear me? I said River City's gonna have a boys' band, and I mean she needs it today. Or Professor Harold Hill's on hand. River City's gonna have a boys' band. As sure as Lord made little green apples, and that band's gonna be a new one. Johnny, Willie, Teddy, Fred. And you'll see the glitter of crashing cymbals, and hear the thunder of rolling drums, and the shimmer of trumpets. Ta-ta-da! And you'll feel something akin to the electric thrill I once enjoyed. When Gilman, Liberace, Pat Conley, the great creator, W.C. Head, and John Philip Sousa all came to town on the very same historic day. 76 trombones led the big parade, with 110 cornets close at hand. They were followed by rows and rows of the finest virtuosos, the cream of every famous band. 76 trombones caught the morning sun, with 110 cornets right behind. There were more than 1,000 reeds springing up like weeds. There were horns of every shape and kind. There were copper-bottomed platoons. Thundering, thundering all along the way. Double bell euphoniums in big bassoons. Each bassoon having its big bad say. There were 50 mounted cannons in the battery. Thundering, thundering louder than before. Clarinets of every size and trumpeters would improvise a full octave higher than the score.
Trombones and the counterpoint, while 110 cornet lays the way. To the rhythm of heart, 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 all the kids began to march, and the marching still right today.
This calls for emergency action. That man is a spellbinder. I
haven't seen Iowa people get so excited since the night Frank Koch and Strangler Lewis lay on the mat for 3.5 hours without moving a muscle. Never mind. I want that man's credentials. Grab that hoodlum. He almost blew up Mrs. Chin.
Thank you, Professor. We need to make an example of this one. Ringleader, you know. Whatever he does, the gang does.
Julie Klein, let me go. You wild kid, you hanging around my oldest girl. His father's one of them day laborers south of town. Tagging down Main Street after my oldest girl last Sunday. I wasn't even tagging. Don't you contradict me. He's just walking to death with Julie Klein. You watch your phraseology. I know what shoes is doing my Lou Gracie senior. If I ever see you around my girl, you're gonna hear it from me till who laid the rags. Hill, I'll talk to you Sunday at City Hall about this band. Men, I want that spellbinder's credentials.
Constable, I'll be responsible for the boy.
You don't know this kid. He's tough, and he's got his game waiting outside.
Oh, I'll be careful. Listen, Tommy, I'd like to talk to you about the band.
Oh, gee, Professor, that's for the little kids.
I'm not talking about you being in the band. Oh, you're mechanically minded, aren't you? Ever do anything with perpetual motion?
Nearly had it a couple times.
You did? Oh, you're my man! Do you realize nobody has ever invented a music order for a marching piccolo player? No place to hang the music?
Gee, wonder where I could get some wire from.
Look in your cellar. That's where people keep wire. Oh, and Tommy.
Yes, sir?
Constable, I'll show you how to break up a gang. Eunice, what's your name?
Sunita, I didn't realize you respected me. Ye gods!
Oh, do you know Tommy Gillis?
Well,
Tommy, this is Anita. Escort the young lady home.
Only exception, I'm not going home. I have to go to the library. Ye gods!
Then escort the young lady home by way of the library. By way of the candy kitchen.
Yes, sir. Do I have to?
You have to.
Yes, sir.
Ye gods!
Professor, you're a pretty bright young fellow, but you made a couple of mistakes.
Oh.
Mayor Shin happens to own the billiard parlor and the new pool table.
Oh, what was my other mistake?
That's Anita. She's the mayor's oldest girl.
Just a minute. Professor Hill, we'd like to have your credentials. We are the school board.
Academic certificates.
Nothing of the kind.
We need letters and papers.
Make him put up a bond. Just a second. What am I hearing? You, sir. Say. Ice cream.
Ice cream? I don't sing them, man.
All right, talk then. Down here. Ice cream. Talk slow.
Ice cream.
See? Singing is only sustained talking. Now you. Ice cream. Now you. Ice cream. Now you, sir. Ladies, from now on you will never see one of these men without the other three.
Oh, Professor, you're wrong. Why, they've hated each other for 15 years.
Ice cream, ice cream, ice cream.
How can there be
Any sentence sincere? Where is the good in goodbye, in goodbye? Your apprehension
don't suppose you live alone or anything.
No.
I got some wonderful caramels over at the hotel if you'd like
Mr.
to.
Hill.
Professor Hill.
Professor of what? At what college do they give a degree for annoying men on the street like a Saturday night rowdy at a public dance hall?
Oh, I wouldn't know about any of that. I'm a conservatory man myself. Gary Conservatory. Gold medal class of odd 5.
Even should that happen to be true, does that give you the right to follow me around wherever I go? And another thing, Mr. Hill, I'm not as easily mesmerized or hoodwinked as some people in this town, and I think it's only fair to warn you that I have a shelf full of reference books in there that may very well give me some interesting information about you.
Hey, Gregory,
Oh, hey, Marcellus. Quit calling me Greg.
how'd you make out with the music teacher?
Scrumptious. Ate out of my hand the minute I tipped my hat.
She did? Boy, did you cut a swath last night. For a second, even I thought you knew something about leading a band. Just like when you used to imitate that old concert band fellow back in Joplin.
Oh, yeah? Kid stuff. I'm in rare form these days, son. Just keep your eye on me for the next 4 weeks.
4 weeks? It used to take 10 days for the instruments to arrive.
Well, it still does, but it takes 4 weeks for the uniforms.
Oh, no, Greg. You haven't added uniforms.
Uniforms and instruction books.
Instruction books? You can't pass yourself off as a music professor. Not for any 4 weeks.
Mars.
You don't know one note from the other.
I have a revolutionary new method called the think system, where you don't even bother with notes.
But in 4 weeks, the people will want to hear the music. You'll have to lead a band.
But when the uniforms arrive, they'll forget everything else. At least long enough for me to collect and leave. Oh, this is a refined operation, son. And I've got it timed down to the last wave of the brakeman's hand on the last train out of town. Now, if you'll excuse me, Mr. Washburn.
You gonna go line yourself up a little canoodling, huh?
Well,
Hey, say, I could set you up with Ethel's sister. Wonderful girl. Teaches Sunday school.
no wide-eyed, eager, wholesome, innocent Sunday school teacher for me. That kind of girl spins webs no spider ever. Listen, boy. A girl who trades on all that purity merely wants to trade my independence for her security. The only affirmative she will file refers to marching down the aisle. No golden, glorious, gleaming, pristine goddess. No, sir, for no Diana do I play fawn. I can tell you that right now. I snarl, I hiss. How can ignorance be compared to bliss? I spark and I biz for the lady who knows what time it is. I cheer and I rave for the virtue I'm too late to say. The sadder but wiser girl for me. No bright-eyed, blushing, breathless baby doll baby. No, sir, that kind of child ties knots. No sailor ever knew. I prefer to take a chance on a more adult romance. No dewy young miss who keeps resisting all the time she keeps insisting. No wide-eyed, wholesome, innocent female. No, sir, for she's the fisherman, I'm the fish you see. Plop! I flinch, I shy. When the lass with the delicate air goes by, I smile, I grin. When the gal with a touch of sin walks in, I hope and I pray for Hester to win just one more ray. The sadder but wiser girl's the girl for me. The sadder but wiser girl for me.
Agog on the QB.
Everyone's so excited about the band.
I'm at the top of mine. The piano girl.
And this is Mrs. Squires and Mrs. Hicks. And of course you've met Eulalie McKechnie Shin. Our mayor's wife. Isn't it exciting, Eulalie?
I could not say at this time. My husband will wish to investigate, I'm sure. And naturally, I'm reticent. Oh yes, I'm reticent.
Of course, Mrs. Shin, I understand. But you see, part of my music plans include a committee on the classic dance. Wait a minute. Do that again, Mrs. Shin. Your foot the way you raised it just now.
Oh, well, I'm a bunion there that bothers.
What grace, what elegance, what natural flow of line and rhythm. You must accept the chairmanship for the ladies' auxiliary for the classic dance. Mustn't she, ladies? Every move you make, Mrs. Shin. The speak, Stelsart. Please say you will. Will you? Will you?
Eulalie McKechnie-Shin. Dancing, well...
Then you accept.
Yes, indeed, and I would like
Thank
to say...
you. Now, the young lady who plays the piano. Marian Prue, I believe? After all, she is a librarian.
Pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, cheep, 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 talk a lot, pick a little more, pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, cheep, 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 talk a lot, pick a little more, pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, cheep, 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 talk a lot, pick a little more, pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, cheep, 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 sir, pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, doesn't belong to me. Of course, I shouldn't tell you this, but she advocates 30 bucks.
30 books?
Chaucer, Rabelais, Pickle, that, cheep, 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 and the worst thing, of course, I shouldn't tell you this, but I'll tell. On my street, let me tell. I'll tell. She made brazen overtures to a man who never had a friend in this town till she came here. Old Miser Madison.
Miser Madison? Madison Gymnasium? Madison Picnic Park? Madison Hospital? That Miser Madison?
Exactly. Who do you think he was anyway?
Well, I should say. Gave the town the library too, didn't he?
That's just it. When he died, he left the library down to the city, but he left all the books to her. She was seen coming and going from this place. Oh yes, that woman Maid. Brazen overtures, the guilt experience, should have gone and glinted her eye and silver voice with a counterfeit ring. Just melt her down and you'll reveal a lump of lead as cold as steel here, where a woman's heart should be. He left River City, the library building, but he left all the books to her. Chaucer, Rabelais, Balzac, cheep, 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 pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, cheep, 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 talk a lot, pick a little, pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, cheep, 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 talk a lot.
Of course, I have just what you need up in my hotel. Take me a second. Good night, ladies. Good night, ladies. Good night, ladies. Good night, ladies. We're going to leave you now. Farewell, ladies. Farewell, ladies. Farewell, ladies. We're going to leave you now. It's all right. I know everything and it doesn't make a difference.
What are you talking about?
We're probably very young. Anybody can make that mistake.
What?
Please, no apologies, no excuses. I'll only be in town a short time. Sad of a wiser girl for me.
Will you please make your selection and leave?
I have
Well, what do you want to take out?
the librarian.
Quiet, please.
Marian. Models. 6 Kiwis, 8 Aggies, a dozen Kiwis, and 1 big lassie with an American flag in it. I think I'll drop them.
No!
Madam Librarian. What can I do? My dear, to catch your ear. I love you madly, madly, Madam Librarian. Marian, heaven help us, if the library caught on fire, in the volunteer horse brigade men had to whisper the news to Marian. Madam Librarian, what can I do, my dear, to make it clear? I need you badly, badly, Madam Librarian. Marian, if I stumble and I busted my whatchamacallit, I can lie on your floor unnoticed till my body had turned to carrion. Madam Librarian, now in the moonlight, a man could sit in the moonlight, and a fellow would know that his darling had heard every word of his song with the moonlight helping along. But when I try and here to tell you, dear, I love you madly, madly, Madam Librarian. Marian, it's a long lost cause I can never win, for the civilized world accepts this unforgivable sin. Any talking out loud with them, librarian, such as Marian. Madam Librarian. What would I try in here to tell you, dear? I love you madly, madly, Madam Librarian. Marian, it's a long lost cause. I can never win, for the civilized world accepts as unforgivable sin. Any talking out loud with that librarian, such as Marian. The ladies' dance can meets Tuesday nights. Marshmallow, Madam Librarian. Well, Tommy, we've had a pretty good morning. 11 sales out of 12 tries. Tell you what, it's almost noon. You better go home and grab some dinner. I'll try a couple by myself.
Goodbye, Professor.
Thanks, Tommy.
Just a minute. Are you soliciting? You haven't got a license.
Why, no, Mayor Shin, I don't. I collect doorbells. Why, this particular specimen has an unusual tone quality that...
Flattery will not avail you. Soliciting is statutory in this county. Malfeasance without a permit. Why haven't you been down to City Hall with your papers?
I just miss you, Mr. Mayor. Oh, no. Mr. Mayor, your hand!
What?
The spread of the little finger. It's hereditary.
Oh, it is? What's that mean?
Well, it means that your son's little finger is perfectly situated to operate the spit valve on a B-flat flugelhorn.
Is that good?
Good? Well, it means that America has at last produced an artist who can flugle the minute waltz in 50 seconds.
How do I get one of those horns?
Sign here, Mr. Mayor. That'll be $17 import fee.
I just think I could have missed out on this whole... Just a minute. I haven't got me, son, you unscrupulous flu-by-night. You unflipulous. You'll be down to City Hall with your by-God papers by 3 o'clock.
You mean this afternoon?
Couldn't make myself any plainer if I was a Quaker on his day off.
Mrs. Peru, do you realize you have the facial characteristics of a cornet virtuoso?
I don't know if I understand you entirely, Professor.
But if your son has that same firm chin and those splendid cheek muscles, by George! Well, not that he could ever be really great, you understand.
Oh, is that so? In the name of St. Bridget, why not?
Well, you see, all the really great cornet players were Irish. O'Clark, O'Mendez, O'Clyde.
Professor! We are Irish!
No. No. Oh, that clinches it. Your boy was born to play the cornet. Signed here, Mrs. Peru. That'll be $7 of earnest money. Nothing more due until the first payment, installable at the opening of band practice. Thank you. And of course, I'll need the boy's measurements for his uniform.
His uniform?
Hello, son. Why, certainly, his uniform. And not a penny due till delivery, which gives him 4 weeks to enjoy, to anticipate, to imagine, and at no cost whatever. Never allow the demands of tomorrow to interfere with the pleasures and excitements of today.
Would it have
A stripe? Oh, certainly, my boy. A wide red stripe on both sides. What do you think of that?
You'll have to excuse Winthrop, Professor. We can't get him to say 3 words a day, even to us, and if you'll have him play in the band, well, you'll have Sage Michael's own way with you. But if anyone can do it, I bet you can. Out of a crowd, I pick you for a hot kidding, clay pipe smoking, shamrock wedding, harp playing, mavernine pitching, tennis hall minstrel singing Irishman, big gum and be jabbers. Where are you from, me by?
Gary, Indiana.
I know it's Gary. Where did you say?
Gary, Indiana. In fact, Gary Conservatory was my alma mater.
Was she now?
Why, yes. Gold medal, class of '05. How to do, Miss Peru?
How to do, Mr. Hill?
Of course. Peru, I thought the name sounded familiar. Well, I tried to see you since the other night.
He wants to put Winthrop in the band!
We're not interested, Mama.
But Marian, the boy can have his father's musical gift. He does have my jaw, you know.
Oh, your husband musical? Well, I'd like to have a talk with him, I'm sure
Do
we
you
could.
burst in on everyone's homes like this? Prying on personal affairs? We're not interested.
Marian!
Well, that's 1 for and 1 against. Perhaps we should let the boy's father
The
decide.
boy's father is dead. Anything else?
I'm sorry. But that's all the more reason why your brother should have something like
My
this.
brother is a 10-year-old problem child who can't understand why his father was taken away from him. Would you care to explain it to him? He's been brooding about it for 2 years now. And as to your musical tricks, why don't you go into business with a nice carnival man who sells gold-painted watches and glass diamond rings?
Surely you don't think I've been trying to. Well, I get the feeling she likes the idea. A little cautious, perhaps, but I admire that woman. Just keep me alive and I'll be back later in the week.
One moment, Professor Hill, about the boy's measurements. I do make all of his clothes. Sleeve 21, waist 18, crouch 13.
Thank you. That's all I need. Now I must get back to the hotel.
Professor, I do hope you'll excuse Marian. She's not...
Please, don't worry about a thing. I'm sure that at heart she's as lovely as yourself. Good day to you, Peru.
Has he gone?
He has, and I hope not forever. Darling, when will you start to think of your future? Gary, Indiana, conservation class of Mod 5. Now, darling.
Now, Mama, surely a girl's future doesn't depend on every fast-talking, self-centered traveling salesman who comes to town. And the fact that he claims his commodity is music does not, in this particular case, impress me.
All right, darling, all right. Only it's a well-known principle that if you keep the flint in one drawer and the steel in another, you'll never strike much of a fire.
Mama! Winthrop! Winthrop, I know you're there. Winthrop, please go to the library and ask Miss Grubb to give you the book I set aside. It's the Indiana State Educational Journal, 1890 to 1910. It's the large green volume with gold lettering.
Do I have to?
You won't have to talk to anyone. I've written it all down. Thank you, dear.
Now what you up to? Why do you need books at this hour of the night?
I have a feeling the Indiana Journal will poke some large holes in the professor's claims.
Well, I give up. At your age, if you don't mind my asking, what sort of white knight do you expect to come riding along?
Well, I'm not waiting for Luther Grenier to back me into the ancient history shelf every time he comes into the library.
He does?
Or Ed Gaddage in that buggy of his with the removable back seat. But I'm not waiting for a knight in shining white armor either. My wise knight, not a Lancelot, nor an angel with wings, just someone to love me
Hey, Anita.
Tommy, Papa and Mama are sitting right there in the bank. You guys.
All right, then meet me after supper.
I can't. It's Epworth League night. Meet you where?
The footbridge.
You see, isn't that just what I said? Last time the lumber yard, and now the footbridge. In trouble it be next. In the Black Hole of Calcutta, ye gods.
I only wanted to show you my invention.
What invention?
A music quarter for a marching piccolo player. It shows a few minor flaws, like when you go to play the music, you can't quite wiggle your fingers. And meanwhile, you can go blonde.
Tommy, it's Papa.
Is that the first thing I said, or isn't it?
Yes, George.
Yes, or I'll be paying with the horse. Get that spellbinder's credentials, July 4th, 1912. And now, my wife is out dancing at any and all hours instead of at home.
But George.
The school board is singing up street and down alley. My oldest girl is out boodling around with some wild kid from the wrong side of town, and my business is falling off so far I can't see the balance sheet.
Mr. Mayor, I found something very interesting about Professor Hill's alma mater.
His who?
His university?
I know all about that. In fact, that's all I can get out of him.
Gary Conservatory, class of '05.
If you'll just read a little bit about the conservatory, you won't have to look much further. It's on page...
Papa, look where the wagon is coming up from the depot.
A likely story. The Wells Fargo wagon. This time of day?
It could be the band instrument.
The band instruments?
Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is up, coming down the street. Please let it be for me. Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is up, coming down the street. I wish I knew where it could be.
I got a book to maple sugar on my birthday.
In March I got a gray Mackinac.
And once I got some grapefruit from Timbuk.
Montgomery Ward sent me a belt of and a cross-cut saw. Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is up, coming now. Is it a prepaid surprise or COD?
It could be curtains or a door.
Or it could be. Yes, it could be. Yes, you're right. It surely could be. Something special. Something very, very special now. Just for me. Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is up, coming down the street. Don't let it pass my door. Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is up, coming down the street. I wish I knew what it was coming for.
I got some salmon from Seattle last September.
And I expect a noodle kitchen.
I hope I get my raisins from Fresno.
The AR sent a candy for the courthouse where.
Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is up, coming now. I don't know how I knew that we could be lost. It could be something for someone to laugh. No, it the door. It could be.
Yes, it could be. Yes, you're right. It surely could be. Something very, very special now.
Just for me.
Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is a coming. Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is a coming. Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is a coming. Never stop until you stop for me.
Here you are, Winthrop. Kids, you will each receive individual instruction in due course. In the meantime, stay off the streets, get acquainted with your instruments, and think about the minuet and G. La-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da, la-di-da, la-di-da.
Round one for you, Mr. Hill, but I better hear some by God tooting out of them horns in pretty short order, or I'll see you in front of the grand jury down at the county seat.
Come, George, check this few bits.
You watch your crazy other. I've got to get something from the librarian. About that book.
Ladies' dance committee meets Tuesday nights at the high school.
Lovely, ladies, lovely. Now turn. Take the body with you.
again to keep your face to the arms. Mr. Hicks?
It's you in the sunrise, it's you in my car.
It's you all the way into town.
It's your sweet hello here that sets me up.
And it's your got to go here that gets me down. It's you on my pillow in all of my dreams, till once more the morning breaks through. What words could be said or true or plainer than it's you? It's you.
Smile, baby, smile.
It's you. Oh, yes, it's you.
Please, folks, Mrs. Shin will have my head.
Mr. Washburn, we're entitled to 5 more minutes.
If you think you can handle these folks, go ahead.
Start her up, Mr. Washburn. Wait till you see the new moves Professor Hill taught us.
All right, what'll it be?
The Shapoopy!
Now, a woman who'll kiss on the very first date is usually a hussy, and a woman who'll kiss on the second time out is anything but fussy. But a woman who'll wait till the third time round, head in the clouds, feet on the ground, she's the girl he's glad he's found. She's his shapoopy, 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 the girl who's hard to get. Shapoopy, shapoopy, shapoopy.
But you can't win her yet.
Walk her once, she's a race, and currently you walk around twice, she's a making certain. Once more through the flower garden, she'll never get sore if you beg your pardon.
Don't make me closer, 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 hold me real.
Squeeze her once, please. Look at if you get a squeeze back, that's fancy cooking. Once more for a pet, for upper, she'll never get sore on her way to supper.
Motion, Your Honor. Your daughter and I are going to study behind your back.
Why, you?
Well, we'd rather be doing it in front of your back, but you know,
Do what? Never mind.
Zanita's scared of ya, but I ain't scared of ya. You should hate to have your own daughter be scared of ya, Joey Clyde.
Boy, I'm gonna warn you one more time. If I ever see you touching my daughter again, I'll by God horsewhip you till hell won't heaven again.
Now, George!
Not one poop out of you, madam.
I think he means beef.
Yes! And now you get out of this here public building.
I got as much right in the public building as anybody.
Right? How do you get any run around here aiding and abetting the swindling activities of that spellbinding symbol salesman? You know what I see written all over you? Reform school. Now get out for a while, kid, get!
Papa, please! It's Capulets like you make blood in the marketplace. Ye gods!
You watch your phraseology, young lady. Go home. Eulalie, you tend to your dance.
My dance?
I'll handle Zanita, taken up with wild kids from the wrong side of town.
Mr. Mayor, if I could just make you understand.
Well, you can't. And by the way, thanks for nothing. I've read that book of yours cover to cover for a week now and found nothing.
Mr. Mayor, if you please.
I'll swim your hash as soon as I get these premises off of my oldest girl. Yes!
All right, but in the meantime, I want you to know I'm vouching for Tommy Jones. That boy's got the confidence of every kid in town. You'll be standing in line waiting to shake his hand by the time our band plays its first concert.
By the time your band plays its first concert, the individual members will have to foregather in wheelchairs on account of the broken legs they'll have received from tripping over their fears. Now, let me tell you something, my fine young feathered. My feathered young... Never mind! Oliver, JC, you were Olin! I want that man's references and I want them tonight. Don't let him out of your sight. He's slipperier than a Mississippi surgeon.
So you want us to get his credentials?
Get his papers or get him in jail. Couldn't make myself any clearer if I was a button hook in the well water.
Professor Hill, I think Mayor shouldn't be here comically, and I just think it was wonderful of you coming to Tommy's defense.
Oh no, that was nothing.
Yes, it was.
A man can't dodge an issue every time a little personal risk is involved. What does the poet say? The coward dies 1,000 deaths, the brave man only 500. Unfortunately, the mayor was already pretty upset on account of his billiard park. Oh, now I suppose a recommendation from a musical authority such as yourself would help, but I can't think of asking you to do a thing like that.
Why, Professor Hill?
You would?
I'd be glad to. I just wish I was a little more informed. I've been meaning to talk to you about Wakeup's cornet.
Oh, his cornet? Mother of pearl keys?
I'm sure it's fine, but you see, he never touches it. Oh, the first week or so, he made a few, experimental blats, I guess you'd say.
Yes, blats.
And he sings the Menuet-G-Di-Da almost constantly.
La-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da, la-di-da, la-di-da.
But he never touches the cornet.
Well, you
He
see.
says you told him it wasn't necessary.
Well.
Something about the think system. If he thinks the minuet and G, he won't have to bother with the notes. Now,
Miss
Professor...
Mary, the think system is a revolutionary method, I'll admit. Oh, so was Galileo's conception of the heavens, Columbus's conception of the ant, or globe, Bach's conception of the well-tempered clavichord. Well, I cannot discuss these things in public, but if you'll allow me to call, when may I call?
Why, any night this week.
Pick on concert committee.
Oh, you're so dear tonight dancing this groupie with Professor Hill. Oh, you dance like a fairy princess with a blue ring for your floor. Got a gold and sugar in your hair and silver shoes for all to see. We know that you will soon unfold a forgiving heart of purest gold here, where a woman's heart should be. Fairy princess, ruby floor, golden shimmer, silver shoes. Now
Professor Hill, we still need your credentials.
Be open, deputized.
Why, yes, congratulations. Now, let's see, I tried to give you fellows my references and credentials all week, but you always seem to get off the subject somehow. Now, I have just what you need up in my hotel room. Take me a second.
But I'm afraid I'll have to go on with you.
Why, of course, I understand. Let's see if I can find my key. What's this? A testimonial from Madame Marian, the only female bassoon player to ever appear on the Red Path circuit. Her stage name, of course. Well, she was from Moline, Lyda Rose Quackenbush.
Let me see that for me.
Oh, you'll never forget the name. Same as the old song, Lyda Rose. Lyda Rose, I'm home again, Rose.
To get the sun back in the sky. Lyda Rose, I'm home again, Rose. About 1,000 kisses shy. Ding dong ding, I can hear the chapel bell chime. Ding dong ding, at the least suggestion I'll pop the question. Lyda Rose, I'm home again, Rose, without a sweetheart to my name. Lyda Rose, now everyone knows that I'm hoping you're the same. So here's my love song, not fancy or fine. Lyda Rose, oh, won't you be my Lyda Rose, oh, Lyda Rose, oh, Lyda
Professor Hill.
And look, I still have some words left.
Did you have a good time?
Grandpa, he told me all about his hometown Gary, Indiana. And he said he'd take me there someday. And he taught me a new song that hardly had any S's in it. Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana. Let me say it once again. Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, Gary, there's no Amarillo with my life wrong.
Leave the dishes, I'll do them, Mama. Don't you have to change for the sociable? There's time later.
Pardon, the Shins live around here somewhere?
The Shin home is on East Elm. This is West Elm.
Aw, criminy. I see you're the piano teacher in town. You must know about this fellow who formed the boys band around here.
Yes.
Well, don't let a word you know more. I got the goods on him in spades, that swindling two-bit thimble rigger. That's why I gotta see Shin. Number 8 only makes a 15-minute water stop. Ooh, sure wish you were 20. Sure concentrate 5 minutes on you, girly girl.
Who are you?
Name's Charlie Cal, Anvil salesman. But right now, I'm out to protect the greater good of the traveling fraternity from this swindler.
Mr. Cal, you're making a big mistake.
Mistake my old lady's corset cover. This fella has been the raspberry seed in my wisdom tooth for long enough. He spoiled Illinois, well, he's not gonna spoil Iowa. Say, what kind of piano teacher are you? Didn't you see right through him? He's no more
I know all about that. Band leaders are always called professor. It's a harmless deception. He's a fine director.
Fine director? Have you heard any of the music from any band?
Well, no, but...
But nothing, girly girl. He hasn't formed a band in his life and he never will.
If you'll just listen to me for a minute.
I like to. I like to do a lot more than that if I had the time. Sure got the inclination, but I gotta get back in this train and leave this dynamite with somebody on the way to the depot. Bye, girly girl. See you next time through.
You'll never catch the train at the depot. You'll have to catch it at the crossing.
I have to leave a word and I see you ain't the one to leave it with.
Just a minute, Mr. Cal. You don't know me yet.
Is that an invitation?
No, I just meant I don't know you. And
Guess I need more time anyway.
I mean as well as I'd like to.
No trouble there, girly girl.
I never met a man who sells anvils before. That's something quite different.
Takes a real salesman, I can tell you that. Anvils have the limited skill, you know. What am I doing? If I miss that train, I'll get fired. I have to leave a word about this fellow Hill.
Leave word with me.
Not on your hang tight. Plus, how do I know you'll deliver these letters?
Try me. There's your train. Now run for it.
Why, you double deal a little? Who do you think you're protecting? The guy that has a girl in every county in Illinois. It takes the weight from every one of them, and that's 102 counties. Not counting the piano teacher who cozies up to keep their mouth shut. Neither one of you's heard the last of me, girl.
At the least suggestion, I'll pop the question. Light a rose, I'm home again, rose without a sweetheart to my name. Good evening, Miss Marian. Light a rose now, everyone knows that I'm hoping you're the same. So here's my love song.
Marian! Marian! Who was you talking to, Joe? Why, Professor Hill.
Miss Peru, top of the evening. Miss Marian.
You and Marian, come up and sit. I've got some jelly on the stove.
There's no jelly on the stove, Mama.
Well, I'll put some on.
Shall we set as your mother said?
Well,
You did ask me to call.
Did I? I didn't mean anything.
Now, Miss Marian, I'm not suggesting that your invitation inferred anything but academic enlightenment. Well, the think system? I've been by a time or two this week to try to explain it to you, but there always seem to be people around. Mostly ladies, I thought.
Yes, Mrs. Squires and several of the ladies.
I'm glad. Wouldn't want anybody beating my time. You wouldn't? No, ma'am. Well, it's evidently not convenient night. I'll see you at the sociable later.
Wait, Professor Hill. Is it true that you've had 100... What I'm trying to say is...
Yes?
Is it true that you've developed a think system?
A what? Oh, a think system. Yes, it's really very simple. As simple as whistling. Nobody has to show you how to use your lips when you whistle. You just think a tune for it to come out clearly here. Try it yourself before you ask any questions.
I take your word.
Could we sit down?
Are all music teachers as dense as I am?
All music teachers.
I dare say you need dozens, even 100.
Well,
Have they all been as fascinated as I am with the think system?
Some more, some less. One young lady had thought of the same system before I came to her town. Showed me a few refinements.
I see.
Have I said something wrong?
Please don't let me keep you, Professor Hill. You must have many more important things to do than to explain the think system to me.
Now, I can't think of one.
And I must be very dull company for a man of your experience.
Now say, where do you get an idea like that?
One hears rumors of traveling salesmen.
Miss Marian, you mustn't believe everything you hear. After all, one hears rumors about librarians.
I suppose you're referring to Uncle Matty.
Uncle Matty?
Mr. Madison, my father's best friend. No matter what they say, he left me an assured job so Mother Winthrop and I would have some security. Now, surely you don't...
Of course not. That's what I'm trying to say. Why do you think people start these rumors?
Narrow-mindedness, jealousy. Jealousy mostly, I guess.
Exactly. And jealousy mostly starts rumors about traveling salesmen. What have you heard?
Oh, nothing personally, just generally.
What have you heard generally?
Just that. But of course it stands to reason that disappointment and jealousy could lead to, well, take you for instance, your attentions to customers and teachers could be misinterpreted, mightn't they? I mean, honestly, mightn't they?
Why?
And so you say, if another salesman or somebody were to be jealous, well, they could be downright lies, couldn't they?
What could?
Rumors and things.
Why, of course.
It just proves you shouldn't believe everything you hear, doesn't it? I mean, if you discuss things...
Miss Marian, I would be delighted to discuss anything in the world with you, but couldn't we do it sitting down? Well, you do sit. Your knees bend and all.
We could sit on the porch steps.
We can also sit on a large hollow log toward the footbridge.
Oh, I couldn't think of it. I've never been to the footbridge with a man in my life.
Just to talk.
I've got to dress for the sociable.
You can meet me there. 15 minutes.
I just can't. Please, some other time. Maybe tomorrow?
My dear little librarian. I'll open up tomorrow's. You'll find me collected nothing but a lot of empty yesterdays. Now, I don't know about you, but I'd like to make today worth remembering.
Oh, so would I.
The footbridge. 15 minutes.
15 minutes. Mama! What? I just told Professor Hill I'd meet him at the footbridge in 15 minutes.
Glory be and the saints be praised, it works!
What does?
I've been using the think system on you from the parlor.
Uniforms just arrived. Kids are in them already. Those people are going to scream for music if those kids show up at the sociable.
Yeah.
Here's most of the dough. Got Tommy to collect it. He's holding the kids together for now, at least. Pretending to hold a practice over at the lumberyard.
All right, Marsh, get the rig.
I've got it.
What time's the freight go?
9:40 from the junction.
But it's not even 8:30 yet.
Listen, Greg, you want to turtle wordle around here and get yourself caught up in some bunny trap, go ahead, but I'm ready.
I'll meet you at the hotel in plenty of time. Miss Marian, you're late.
But you said 15 minutes.
Well, what I meant was you were about, well, I'd say about 26 years late. It took you all this time to get to the footbridge with the fella.
If you want to know the truth, it was almost longer.
Oh?
Halfway here, I nearly turned back. I suppose I'm not the first to think more freely than that under the spell of your salesmanship.
Oh, surely you don't think I've been trying to sell you anything?
No, you've given me something. That's why I decided to come.
I don't recall giving you anything.
Yes, you have. Something beautiful. That's why I came. And I'm glad. Oh, please don't expect too much more. One can't expect traveling salesmen to stay put. There have been many folks who call, and there will be many more. That's no reason for you to be grateful for what you will learn from me.
Very nice.
There were bells on the hill, but I never heard them ringing. No, I never heard them till there was you. There were birds in the sky, but I never saw them ringing. No, I never saw them at all till there was you. And there was music, and there were wonderful roses. They tell me sweet, fragrant meadows of corn and dew. There was love all around, but I never heard it singing. No, I never heard it at all till there was you. There was love all around, but I never heard it singing. No, I never heard it at all till there was
Excuse me. I'm expecting a cable from Hector Berlioz. This could be it. Now what?
Who's the salesman here? Sounds like she's selling and you're buying.
Oh, you nuts? I didn't know I was going to be able to leave tonight. Besides, I had to keep her off balance, didn't I? I told you.
She's so far off balance, you couldn't spot her from a catboat in a hurricane.
Listen, Buster Brown. I come up to the rinks on this skirmish, and I'm not resigning without my commission.
Oh, you can't get anywhere right out here on the footbridge.
There's a place over at Madison Park. Makes the footbridge look like the old ladies' home. Now beat it, boys. Go get the rig. Never a peaceful moment in the music business. Now then, where were we?
You were about to tell me what I don't know about you.
Well, we don't really have to get into that just now, do we?
No, we don't. Or ever, for that matter, Harold. The librarian hasn't felt much like doing research lately, but she did plenty when you first got here.
About what?
About Professor Harold Hill, Dairy Conservatory class of R5. Harold, there wasn't any Dairy Conservatory in R5.
But there's certainly...
Because the town wasn't even built till '06. I'll see you at the sociable.
You knew all the time?
Since July 7th, 3 days after you came, I tore this page out of the Indiana Journal. It was originally intended to use against you, but now I give it to you with all my heart.
But if you knew, why didn't you? Oh, why you little... while 110 cornets played the air. Then I modestly took my place as the one and only bass, and I oompahd up and down the square.
Good night, my son. Good night, my love.
With 110 cornets right behind.
Our star is shining, its brightest light.
There were horns of every shape and sweet dreams be yours, dear, if dreams there be.
110 cornets played the air.
I wish I may, and I wish I might. Now good night, my someone, good night.
Great! This guy's crazy! He's going all over town smelling everything!
I say I'm crazy. I missed my train, probably lost my job, but now I got you home. I'll make you pay. You lollygagging me around till I couldn't get to the shins. Little dried up.
Get out of here or I'll kill you, you dirty mouth!
You big bully, you big blow up. I'll stay in this town till you goes up, down, through, and sideways. Well, you never even knew the territory.
Here's your stuff, Greg. Rig's in the alley. Hurry up.
Right now, this minute, there's a burglar in the bedroom while you all are fiddling in the parlor. I'm talking about Harold Hill, road agent, highwayman, pickpocket.
Pickpocket?
Same thing. He's had his hand in your bowling at him, and yours, mister, and yours, little lady. Ever since the first moment he came to this town, there's more documented evidence than you've ever had time to read. There never has been any band, there never will be any band. If you don't hunt this man down like a mad dog, there won't be any Harold Hill either. He'll be on the next train out of here.
Now you believe me?
Well, what are you waiting for?
Oh, I want my money back.
Money back? I want his eye.
After him! And when you find him, take him to the schoolhouse. After him!
Where have you been? I've been looking for you.
I've been looking for Winthrop. He's run away. Please go, Harold. Please. They're even talking about tar and feathers.
I had to see you.
It's all right. Don't you know that? You don't owe me a word, not a word. Now please go, Harold. Please.
Quick! He's not over here. Let's try down by the creek.
Winthrop!
Hey, wait a minute here, son.
I'm not your son. Leave me go.
Not till I talk to you for a minute.
I won't listen. You won't tell me the truth anyway.
Would to.
Would not.
Would to. Tell you anything you want to know.
Can you lead a band?
No.
Are you a big liar?
Yes.
Are you a dirty, rotten crook?
Yes.
Then let me go, you liar.
You wanted the truth, didn't you? Now I'm bigger than you and you're going to get it all, so you may as well quit your wiggling. There's two things you're entitled to know. One, you're a great kid. I thought so from the first. That's why I wanted you in the band. So you quit moping around feeling sorry for yourself.
What band?
I always think there's a band, kid.
What's the other thing I'm entitled to know?
Well, now that I think about it, it's none of your business.
I wish you never come to River City.
No, you don't, Winthrop.
Sister, you believe him?
I believe everything he ever said.
But he promised them.
I know what he promised us, and it all happened just like he said. The lights, and the flags, and the colors, and the symbols.
Well, where's all that?
And the way every kid walked around here all summer long, and looked, and acted, especially you, and the parents too. Does Mama wish she'd never come to River City?
No, but you do.
No, I don't, Winthrop. Now please go, Harold, please.
Go on, Professor Hill.
Can't go, Winthrop. The first time in my life I got my foot caught in the door. There was love all around, but I never heard it sing. No, I never heard it at all. Till there was you.
Quick! They're coming! They're coming! That way! That way!
Why I interrupted the program at this point. Rest assured, this snake in our bosom would have been misapprehended by now. Yes! And remember, my fellow river citizens, I can only remind you that I did everything in my power to keep this dire happening from, well, happening.
What have you done to get our money back?
That professor collected nearly $300 for uniforms just tonight. We haven't even seen the uniforms yet.
Well, he's slippery, I told you.
We haven't seen any uniforms or boys since just after supper. He's a kidnapper. Fine situation here.
4-7. Virtue prevails. The sword of retribution has cut down Professor Harold Hill. And there are those who I heard who are melting harmful like feathers. I will not say their name.
I should think there ought to be some of you who could forget our everlasting Iowa stubbornship on the shoulder arrogance long enough to remember River City before Harold Hill arrived. Well, do you remember? Do you? Surely some of you ought to be grateful for what Professor Hill has brought to River City, and I should think you'd want to admit it.
You're wasting a great deal of time here, madam. If there's a person in this hall who doesn't think this man Hill should be tarred and feathered, let him stand up. You Lily. Set down. And the rest of you standing there like a coat of Shropshire sheep. Do you not recall the tactical instruction books, high-priced uniforms, and expensive instruments you paid for? Do you not remember the clear understanding and warranty that your children would be taught to play the band? Well, where's the band? Where's the band? Think, kids. Think.
fine part. Could you guys please come up to the stage?
Ellen and I have both been in drama since 6th grade and have had the privilege to have these two as our directors. And we wanted to give you guys something to show you our appreciation and how much we'll miss you.
I also wanted to say you guys are a huge part of our family and you have been for so long. And I just wanted to thank you for giving up your time and your lives to come make us special. So thank you guys so much.
Love you.